Hello, for the past couple of days I've been playing Wormwood Expanded Universe. It's a boom compatible set of Halloween maps by Ribix and Grain Assault. They've been putting these out every year for the last couple of years, but this offering in particular got my attention because it contains some new technology Ribix came up with, outlined in his blog, called bouncy walls. And what those do is they deflect projectiles and monsters and players whenever they're touched. I've made videos for every map in the set, but I decided to talk over this map, Map04 Stab with a Sword, because it's the most substantial offering in the set. The whole set's a lot of fun, so I've put a link in the description to a download, so I'd recommend giving that a go if you're interested. I've also put a link to Ribix's blog in the description as well, so you can see his infernal experiments with the Doom engine, and get a sneak peek of the horrendous things to come in challenge maps in the coming year or two. So without further ado, let's go. Now, so we begin here, and as you can see, the way forward is blocked by a little sword sprite there, but you pick up a little flame spirit. One of the gimmicks in this map is that flames denote items you need to pick up. That was a key, for example. You didn't really see it there, but there was a big sword and an altar, and you put the flame on there, the gate opens. You see between the two items there's a chain gun. This is a situation where I'm trying to save as much ammo as possible on this map because the fights can go south quite quickly, so starvation is kind of a big deal here. So trying to get that Arachnotron and that Revenant to infight together. Sometimes that took a lot longer than I hoped it would, but what can we do in that situation? Here I'm just clearing things out quite methodically, picking up the first armour. This map was initially designed to be HMP as the default difficulty setting. So the main difference is item placement and a few nastier enemies. There's a lot less health available. There's lots and lots of health kits in HMP to help you get back up to health. Bit of Tyson work here. Walk over trigger, little trap with a Revenant and a chain gunner on each side. Relatively straightforward, just punching to death. This central divide in the room is quite good, the U-shaped one for controlling enemies, but in that situation it didn't quite work. The chain gunner did find its way around the corner. I was stuck there in the animation of switching to a chain gun because I was thinking I should go kill him, and he came around the corner at the most inopportune moments. So here's the first major little trap here. That Cyber Demon has less health than a normal Cyber Demon, the green guts ones are weaker. So, ideally what I want to do in that situation is immediately run out of there. You can't rat hole in the corner with a rocket launcher because there's chain gunners that spawn in. And, you know, try and lure around this corner, then you can, they all bunch up and you can get them in fighting, especially with these cacodemons, but it didn't happen this time at all. So what I'm doing is I'm constantly running back to that corner to try and prevent these cacodemons from just filtering out through the doorway, to have to sort of shoot them. It hasn't gone well, basically. Over the sort of 10 or so times I did this fight, this is probably the worst it ever went, but it is the one that got me the exit, so que sera, sera. It's why I would never do something like speedrunning, it would drive me absolutely mad. I just want to do things once, rather than doing them well. I'm not really an optimizer. Sad thought. Give up at this point and just decide to kill this without the chain gun. Sometimes the Cyber Demon infights with the Revenants on that platform, but if he walks forward too quickly, he can't hit them, and they can kind of hit him, so you end up with a situation where he just gets basically stuck. And as you can see there, dies very quickly. Because these are junior Cyber Demons, you know, using D-hacks, I think they don't have the immunity to splash damage a normal Cyber Demon has, which makes them even weaker. Going up that lift there to press a button, and that just opens a path up to the start of the map again to save some time, preventing them to do some nasty platforming. And the shotgun here. So, saving ammo again. These imps are confined by blocking lines to these lava pits. The lava pit does hurt, I think it's a 20 damage hurt floor, just to be irritating. So I'm desperately trying to punch them and failing absolutely miserably. I need to practice that. But that's fine, we're just getting ourselves loaded up for the first major encounter. There's sort of 3 major encounters in this fight. There's 2 yellow key fights and a red key fight. The 2 yellow key fights can be done in any order, but the red key fight requires a yellow card to progress through. The order I do them in is just what I'm most comfortable with. So this is the first fight, as you can see. This is the arena. It's very cramped, it's irregular shape, and attention is immediately drawn to the Archvile, which is good, because what you want to do in this situation is immediately clear these enemies out who are walking onto the floor to box you in. Because behind there are cacodemons. There's also those arachnotrons there who can just immediately start attacking you. Sometimes you get a nice infight going in here, sometimes you don't. Basically, my main concern is not using too much rocket ammo because I'm trying to preserve some for the next fight, which is much harder. And a bit of clean-up work as well. But this went quite well. The trick is you just want to stop the guys, the Hell Knights there, from walking on the floor on you, because once they do that, it becomes very hard to dodge about. Flyers, at least you can sort of manipulate, and you can bounce them about with rockets, but when you get imps in the way, you can get snagged very easily. I got quite lucky here insofar as the arachnotrons didn't just immediately open fire on me, but the best way of dealing with that is you can just go snug into that corner you can see on the right there, where I'm just standing now, and if you push into that corner they just lose line of sight on you. On HMP there's no arch foul. Now you might be asking, why don't I just push out of the pit when I can, you know, kill the stuff in front of me, and then, you know, I've got all these cacodemons behind, why not I just leave? And that's because it's trapped. There's one of the junior cyber demons at the top there. On Help Me Plenty, I believe it's 2 archviles. But either way, it's not a good place to be. One thing you can do is just clear out one side, the side I'm on here. Just with rockets, and clear the back way, and then charge up. That's the first way I used to do it, before I realised that the threat from the cacodemons is actually pretty minor. But if you're not careful, if you go back in the pit here, the cyber demon just will sit in the stairs. He won't pathfind out of there, and that can block your way to the ammo, which can be a bit annoying. So it's best just to stay to one side. But we're doing quite well here. I mean, I have enough rockets. I try and leave here with about 25 when I get into the secret, which gives me a few more in a moment. So, okay, went okay, basically. There you've got the panel that's on the monkey bite on the pillars there. And I've got to say that one directly in front of me there doesn't seem to do anything. I'm not sure why they exist, beyond the pure symmetry factor. So first secret here. It's just a box of rockets. Box of rockets on any difficulty, just fine. Helps a lot. And then you've got to climb all the way back up, which is kind of annoying. A little bit of platforming to get out. It's just a strafe run, it's not particularly difficult. And now I'm going to start just clearing out the other secrets and opening up the rest of the map and doing all the incidental combat so I can focus on the 2 arena fights. So the yellow key gives you a couple of rewards. One of them is you get access to this platform here, which gives you a mega armor. I believe it gives you a mega sphere on Help Me Plenty, but very useful for the next fight. You've got to jump along here to get to this second yellow switch. This is what leads to the red card fight, which is mandatory for progression. So using a little bit of ammo, that just opens up the path to this switch and also lets you get in without having to do that awkward jump for a second time. But the incidental combat is nice. It's nice and gentle actually. It's just a matter of playing slow, steady, thinking about it. Get a plasma gun here as well, which is nice. That was very poorly done. I mean, it should just be 2 PFG shots, 2 shotgun shots to kill the pain on there, but not a chance for me to do, unfortunately. But that's fine, because I got a very lucky infight there where the Hell Knight and the Revenant are infighting, because otherwise I would have had to punch the Revenant to death. But hey, whatever helps, you know? So we're going to leave here, clearing out the start of the map. Obnoxious imps there, which can ruin the start of the map because they'll start infighting with the Revenant when you're trying to get him into an infight with the Arachnotron. But the Revenant always does a good job at softening up the Arak when you do it right. A couple of imps down there. I don't really know what those imps do, to be honest with you. I'm not really sure either there. This map has a real crumpets vibe to it. Crumpets, the set of speed maps Rubik's made before Sunlust. Must be 2015. Time flies. Good fun. Trying to get to a secret here. This is going to be a bit awkward because I mess it up. The platforming isn't hard, but I keep messing it up. See all that like alignment there to fail. Strafe jumping over to that platform there. You can just go out the other window if you like, but that I found is just as difficult. You jump down here. it's 2 strafe runs, it's just SR40 across both gaps. Just got to be aligned correctly. I was not there, and I'm going to blame the lack of granularity when you record demos. Your mouse movement is much less fine-grained than it is in non-demo because of the way it stores the values for turning. And you get an armor bonus there, which is a thing in a lot of Rubik's maps now. There's secrets which are literally just, here's an armor bonus, or you found this, it's an exploration thing. There's no actual intrinsic reward built into it. On Hurt Me Plenty, I believe you get a mega armor or something. So, second fight here. Purple wall is bouncy wall, projectiles bounce off it. There's a cyber demon behind, there's teleport pads over here where the switch is, which filter through imps, and then you have 2 spawning vats for flyers. This fight could just go horribly wrong, depending on what the cyber demon does. If you try and rat hole in this corner, the projectiles usually bounce off into your face. The bouncy wall's primary function seems to be whenever a flyer goes near it, they get bounced off it at high speeds back into the main arena. And just when you think you're sort of in control, it's one of those fights. I think this isn't too bad. You get the Pain Elementals, 4 of them, and then you get the Revenants as well. And this is usually where it just went horribly wrong for me, but this time it went really well. It's just a matter of trying to find a way around the path, avoid the rockets, get rid of the Pain Elementals as fast as possible. I've got to say, I was expecting more use from the bouncy walls given the prominence in Map 1 and Map 3. I was expecting this is sort of the most substantial and, you know, map-like map of the set, which isn't just a sort of couple of gimmicks or puzzles. So I was expecting some big things from it, but no, this is one of the 2 uses and it's not too impressive, to be honest with you. I suppose you don't want to stand too close to the wall or dodge in any way which allows him to bank those Cyber Demon rockets off in funny angles. But it never really happened to me. There was never a situation where I thought, oh damn. The only time I got hurt by a rocket off the bouncy wall is when I strafed into it while firing the rocket launcher, and because I think I was slightly inside the behind the line depth, the rocket immediately reflected back in my face, which was quite amusing. But as you can see, I've got very little ammo left, and that's why I preserve ammo as much as possible, because it can go horrendously wrong with this spawning of lost souls and things. I'm actually pretty healthy in terms of ammo here, much more than I thought I would be. I mean, 14 shells is pretty damn good. I actually had some rockets to spare as well. So he's stuck there on the edge. This is just a nice place to get some ammo, really. Kind of an oasis. The layout here is not obvious, I've got to say, but it's very... there's a good flow to this map. I didn't feel too confused. There are things like Magnolia, which Rubik's has made, where the layouts just... my lizard brain can't comprehend them. But this one I feel is quite straightforward. Even if it does have a lot of nice, curvy, otherworldly architecture. Punching that Hell Knight, by the way, didn't go too well, but I was thinking there's lots of ammo. I've got an armour there. I'm picking up a Megasphere. I'm going to go into this next fight 200, 100. Doesn't really matter too much. So, fight here. Like, this is kind of a fake out. You think, ooh, there's going to be a Cyber Demon Jr. and some friends at either side of me, but no, it actually opens up this path here, which is actually kind of interesting, to be honest with you. So, you can see here the floor. I'm playing in software lighting with prboom. The floor has these full bright sort of green tracks, and you see that also enemy eyes glow as well. But if you're playing GL lighting, it doesn't. And given the interesting little trick Rubik's uses here with the lighting, it's really a massive disadvantage to be playing with OpenGL lighting. And you'll see why. So, enemies filter in from one side over here. You can run out of ammo. The best thing to do is just to sort of push as far forward into these banks and just let them do their business. And as you can see, the lighting progressively vanishes. If you're playing an OpenGL lighting, it becomes pitch black. I mean, completely pitch black. Whereas opposed to sort of in software, you have this. Reminds me of emergency airplane lighting, you know, in the aisles. And I remember when I first played this, I had to use a chain gun to illuminate my way around this little bend because I kept getting stuck otherwise. The lava on the ground hurts. It's pretty painful hurtful, so you want to be careful. But this fight went really, really well. Sometimes you get a lot of Revenant projectiles coming in, and you've got to sort of cancel them by pushing into that back wall and going behind one of the pillars, which is quite hard when it's pitch black because it's hard to sort of judge the depth of where the pillar actually ends, because they're quite large pillars compared to the torches. But this is fine. I actually have so much ammo here that I can comfortably kill these Barons of Hell with a shotgun, which I didn't expect. And then when you leave, of course, the actual initial fight you thought you were going to get is there. Which is gentle. Really gentle. You just back out. You let the junior cyber demon do all the work for you. You can see the glowing eyes there. The same tricks used in Criticality by Scotty, I believe. Scotty made that, which I made a video of about a month ago, I'd say. I think it's a really cool effect. I've been using prboom Plus and software lighting a lot more than I used to. For maps that aren't extremely complex, you know, where you're going to get the frame rate issues, I just think it looks a lot nicer. I've come around to the lighting effects. Press a switch, you get another junior cyber demon. Honestly, it's not too bad. If you completely run out of ammo at this point, you can just go behind him and go to this second secret, which is the third secret, which is around this corner. And get a couple more cells if need be, but it's fine. So we have all the keys, just one more arena fight to go, and a bit of platforming to get there. So I'm thinking, having one of those moments I've had before on this map where I hesitate and pause because I can't remember where I'm supposed to go, which is always a bit embarrassing. That switch raises up the pillars, and the switch... I'm taking an armour, I don't know why, I don't need it, I think it's just because it was there. This switch here lets you in. This platforming is easy, you can just press forward, it's just one of those things where you've got to stop yourself from sliding off the edge. The trick to Doom platforming is to immediately hammer back whenever you land somewhere. And here's the final fight. So as you can see, 4 Cyber Demon Juniors at the back on plinths, a big bouncy reflecty curved wall of projectiles. They can't move off that back plinth there. The best thing to do is to try and get rid of them as soon as possible. And this is, I found, the best way of doing it. Just don't think too hard about it. There's not much you can do about dodging. Just get rid of them as soon as possible. You're probably going to get hit by something at some point. It's fine. Because the longer you wait, you see, the more stuff spawns in. Got blocked on somebody there. Did not go well. Took one hit. As you can see here, because the other Cyber Demons surrounded by D-hacks, they can infight with the real Cyber Demon, which is actually kind of useful for ammo, but it's not too good when it comes to predictability of rockets. So I've taken a lot of damage here, as you can see. I took a bit of splash off the wall. Makes it very difficult, because now it's 2 ticks in the lava and I'm dead. So just trying to get a good angle where I'm not going to get hit by splash. Spamming down the Cyber Demons. Fights like this, you just gotta accept it, basically. Don't hesitate, don't overthink it, just go. It might work out, but you might die. I did die doing this once. It's not a big deal. But it's satisfying, it's fun, it's a really good use of the bouncy wall. I hope more maps use the bouncy wall. The only downside to it being is that Cyber Demon rocket sprites will always face the direction they were fired in. So it's hard to predict where they're going. And then you go into a grave there, it's a hurt floor sector. You are stabbed with a sword. So that's from Wormwood Extended... What is it? Wormwood Expanded Universe? I believe it is. Halloween compilation, Rubik's Grain of Salt. Give it a go. It's got some really interesting tricks. Map 1 and Map 3 are really fun, and the secret slot maps as well are a good laugh as well. So put links in the description to all the information about it. Have a nice day. Goodbye.